All right, so yeah, in the second part of the two-step funnel Facebook ads portion in this module, I'm going to show you how to build lead gen advertisement using the two-step funnel framework. It's very similar to the so-called the Shopee ads that you saw just now, but then again, we may have a bit of different implication. Like for now, for this one, we will be using different objective because my methodology is this. You know, if you're actually running ads for let's say using lead gen, the first one you can either use lead gen or messages, but usually we start with lead gen because it's easier for you to capture the link, the information and whatnot. But if you have people, if you're retargeting people who watched the video or even opened the lead form but did not submit, um, theoretically, I believe part of the reason is because they don't like to submit the lead in that way. That's why we will always use the second tier of advertisement to do messages lead gen instead, which is exactly what I'm going to show you over here. All the details set up and all that, but you already know the first tier, which is, you know, how do we set up the lead gen form and all that. But nonetheless, we're going to go through this together. All right. So yeah, the first tier is going to be slideshow, but I'm going to use back the same video that I created for Shopee that you saw. So basically, I will skip the video creation part, but you can refer back to the previous video, the first one, to look at how do we create a slideshow video in that way. So for this one, I'm just gonna go direct to the lead gen. The first one, the first tier, I'm gonna go for lead gen. All right. So basically, this one, because we are going to use different objective. So you want to mark your T1 at the campaign level so that you know this is the thing that you're doing right now. All right, so yeah, in this case, we're gonna do like T1 and the naming, which is we're gonna be like TWFA because we are doing this practice, right? So we're gonna use the winning Facebook ads. This is lead gen, all right, and we're starting it on the 2nd of November, 2021. Okay, now then we go all the way here, remain unchanged, and then we will go next. So when it comes to the audience, same thing. But since we are naming, we are marking the tier on the campaign level, you can actually drop the marking of the tier over here. So you're just gonna do like, where are you targeting, whether it's Malaysia, whether it's somewhere else and all that. So when you're doing lead gen, in fact, they're also allowing you to create an automated chat, but let's not confuse. We will do the chat with the messages one using the messages objective. We do it separately. Remember, the best practice here is if you're using that particular objective, go for the default setting of that one. Like when we talk about traffic, you also have the option to drive people to apps, to WhatsApp, to messages, and what other things, right? But I will always advise you to go back to the root, as in like the basic action that it was intended for. And then you will not go wrong. Because a lot of people actually have tried. They wanted to drive messages, but they accidentally use the traffic and choose the messages. The outcome is totally different compared to if you directly use the messages objective and drive people to your messenger. It's different thing. For some reason, that's why I want to advise you against it. So over here, we're just going to do like maybe Malaysia 25 plus interest, whatever it is, and maybe just 1M. Just remember these are the few key elements you have to put in your audience targeting. So we're just going to go. All right, then we're going to go in. You're going to choose your Facebook page. For this one, I'm going to use awesome product anyway. So if you are linked to catalog, you do that, but we are not. Optimization is for leads, and for daily, you can actually spend, if you want to do the 80-20, then let's say if we spend $30, then I will be spending about, maybe I spend 15 here and 5 on the other side. That pretty much works. So that's $20 kind of thing. Of course, it's less than, maybe I just go 20 and 5. So that sounds better. 20 and 5. Sorry, 20 and 5. Okay. So that's about, 80-20, right? I don't know. So, okay. So you do your audience targeting and whatnot. We don't set up the exclusion yet. We'll set up the exclusion later because the whole idea here is you need to publish your ad first. All right. So your detailed targeting, you want to go for manual placement, you can, because lead form usually won't appear in a lot of places. So I think you're pretty safe. It doesn't appear in, it does appear in stories. So you don't want this. And of course, we don't want it to appear on apps and sites. So these are the few things that we will actually exclude, uncheck, and we go to the next. So yeah, I think by now you should be very familiar about the setup because you have gone through the previous so-called the portion of this module. The moment you understand the whole thing, right, you will realize It is actually very straightforward. It's very logical. The moment you know how to do Shopee, it's very easy for you to pick up for your own website. It's very easy for you to pick up for your, for now, we're doing lead gen and all this kind of thing. So yeah, it's very important. So basically, we're just going to do like single image. No, this is slideshow. Then we will do, oh wait, we're using a different slideshow over here. I mean, just stick back to my page. Stick back to the same page. Else, we won't have the video over here. So that's the trouble. So we switch it back. You're gonna select the right page. I'm jumping back to the ad set level right now. I'm going back to Jason. Okay, that's that. Okay, now everything's cool. Let's go next. You see, whenever you're setting up anything, right? The save is actually running in the background. I think this is one of the reasons why the so-called ads manager is so crazily slow, because it loads all the time, right? So slideshow, and this is the date. Okay, wait, 2021. And yeah, we're gonna do the setup. We're gonna use single image or video. You can actually go through the video creation if you are, doing it from scratch. But like I said, refer back to the previous video. I have already created the video. So I'm just gonna, where's the thing for me to, yeah, I'm just gonna add a video, add media, add video. You wanna do create video, yeah? You don't do add video, because I have already created the slideshow just now. I mean, as in like in the last chapter. So I don't want to go through the waiting. It's too crazy, you know that. Okay, so I'm just gonna use back this one. This was the one that I created. Okay, yeah. So let's go in. Let's cut the learning. Shall we? So that's the key, right? Let's go in, and yeah, pretty cool. All right, and okay now. Okay, original. I don't want it to be cropped or cool. That's done. So once you have completed creating the slideshow, the next thing that we're going to do here is, of course, we want to set up the lead form. Now, I've already did the walkthrough in, the anatomy of the winning ad. The last part of it, I actually did a walkthrough about creating the lead form. So, it's going to be like, okay, now, basically, this is best. I mean, I'm just going to fix, fix something over there just to make it look like one. So you can change the call to action, and you can choose the different form. Now, if you have created a form, you can choose the form. Now, if not, you can actually go through the form creation. I would not go through the form creation because I've done that in the anatomy of the winning ads. So it's there. I'm just going to select this one, 6DC13, and everything is cool. And I'm just going to publish. Okay, that's it. It's actually very straightforward. It's no rocket science. So this is how you do, publish anyway. Don't worry, it's not gonna bite. Sometimes you see some errors saying that you might be reaching, you might not be working, and all this kind of thing. We don't care, because we know what we want to do. That's the thing. All right. So basically, once it's published, the video and the lead form will become available for you to use as a retargeting. Now, before retargeting, we want to set up the exclusion first in the tier 1 ad set. So when we are already in the in the creation, we just need to go back to the ad set. Okay, it's already processing. You see, it's actually under processing. So it takes some time for this thing to load and whatnot. But meanwhile, we can already set up the exclusion. Okay, so yeah, let's wait for this. Yeah, there are a lot of things running in the background. That's why Ads Manager is always slow. But then again, as you can see up to now, I believe you are pretty convinced that a lot more features are actually available in the the desktop version. If you go back to your mobile phone and even the lighter version of the ad creator, which you're using directly on your Facebook page and whatnot, you're not able to do something like this. So that's the thing that you have to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So over here, you come back to the audience, of course, and you want to create. First, you want to create people who watch the video. So of course, you want to go through the next and all this kind of thing. So yeah, but we have created a video. But nonetheless, I think I just want to quickly walk through. Okay, then we are going for 50%, and we're gonna choose that video. Jason Gunn. All right, that video. This video. Okay. So the campaign, the ad set name is what? So you have to follow the campaign name. So this is TWFA lead gen. All right. And it's 50%. Or maybe if you want to do exclusion, this is for exclusion. Maybe we want to exclude for 90 days. 90 days. So you have to change the retention to 90 days. So this is it. Okay, this is good, which means this ad will become, evergreen. But that's only the first thing. We want to get it done. Now, second thing is, in fact, because we are using lead form, we may not need to create two exclusion over here. But wait, let's exclude this thing first. Exclude. All right. Then we want to go in and create a new custom audience. Now, in fact, theoretically, let's go through the practical, as in like following the textbook style. First, we go to the lead form. Okay. So we will exclude those who open the lead form first. That's the first thing. So we will go to the lead form, which is the just now we did was 6DC13. So we will go to the lead form. So this is the first lead form. And no, we're not clicking on this. So for 90 days. So this is what? TWFA lead gen. All right. Open. All right. And 90 days. So this is the first one we're going to create for exclusion. This is following the textbook. This is following the textbook. Okay. But then again, you should do something like this. Anyway, so this is the lead form exclusion. And we're going to, oh, I forgot to put the exclude. So if you want to do it at the naming, you can put the exclude over there. But then again, it's up to you. And then what else we gonna do? We gonna create the ultimate exclusion, isn't it? So what is the ultimate exclusion? Lead form, next. All right. Open and submitted. Okay. Every form. You see, everything, including the messenger. Because the moment you create a messenger lead generation mechanism, it will become part of like similar to a lead form as well. So you want to exclude everyone who have submitted lead. But of course, the longest we can go is 30 days, 90 days. So this is what? Lead submitted, ultimate, right? 90 days. Okay, you want to do ultimate exclusion. Ultimate exclusion 90 days. Perfect. Let's create the audience and exclude that. Awesome, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's create this and exclude. That's where we are going to the exclude. So this is your targeting. Oh, this is also exclude. Everything is X. Oh, wait. What am I doing? No. I'm gonna exclude this one. So this campaign in turn will become evergreen. So all you need to do is just to make sure that you exclude people who watched the video 90 days, open the lead form 90 days, and everyone who submitted lead in any way in the last 90 days. So this will become evergreen and it will go out pretty well. Now, the next one we're going to do is we're going to go and set up the messenger mechanism. So because we're going to do cross objective, you see, when we are talking about the objective usage, I also share with you some case studies about cross objective. Now, when you want to do cross objective, this is how you do it. Okay, now we have set up the lead gen. We're going to set up the messenger instead. So we're going to use the messages objective using the messenger lead gen mechanism. So the messages objective, and we're going to go continue. As usual, it's going to take a while. Okay. So, yep, the name will be T2, right? T2, and then the winning Facebook ads. What am I doing? Messages. This is the objective and the date. Okay, now that's how you do it. And we will just drop everything. Pretty cool. Then we go to the next. Then we go to the ad set level. Now, this is where we set up. This is actually 7 days retargeting. Usually do something like this. But anyway, it's up to you. 7 days. Okay, then we will go down. So these will run on Messenger or Instagram Direct. So basically, if you want to target on both, then it's going to be that. But you know, my advice is bring people back to the Messenger, because if you use Instagram Direct, you will lose some customization. So we're just going to uncheck this one, because the auto reply doesn't happen on Instagram yet as we're making this video. But when it happens, then you know, by all means, you can use that. Okay, so this one we usually bring back to the Messenger, because the Messenger is the one that we can do a lot more robust kind of like planning. So tier 2 we spend 5. All right, so we will go down and we were going to create the custom audience. Now the first custom audience, of course, is going to be the people who have watched that video, which is 50% of the first video that we created. Okay, so 7 days, right? So this is TWFA lead gen with slideshow. 50%. I think that's pretty cool. 50%. 7 days. Okay, then this is our first retargeting audience. So done. Just gonna drop it, and we're gonna come back to the second one, which is we're gonna create, well, people who opened the form but did not submit, right? So we're gonna go to the lead form. Okay, we're gonna go for people who opens but did not submit, right? Which form? This form, the one that we actually agreed to use, 7 days. So this is TWFA lead gen, open, not submitted. All right, 7 days. Okay, cool. So either way, I get you. So that will actually help you get more people. Yeah, because that's the reason why we use double audience qualifier. And remember, what's that? Ultimate exclusion. Please submitted ultimate exclusion that we created just now. You saw? So yes, so this is done. Everything open. So this one, detailed targeting, it doesn't matter right now at this level, because it's retargeting. Whether the expand, however, it doesn't really affect your campaign. So automatic placement, then we go to the next. So this is where we go to the ad creation under this one. Okay, so yep. Okay, so this is the ad. All right, messages. It's whether you want to do whatever format, want a single image or whatnot. But remember, you want to put a date, and you're just going to do a single image or whatnot. But what's really important that I want to work with you to really go through here is cannot be used in Facebook newsfeed. Can only be used. Okay, so we need to turn off those placements. You can do it later. But then again, I'm going to do this Messenger setup. Now there are several ways. What usually people do is they immediately go for a start conversation. No, we don't want that. Because start conversation is really just to get people to come in, and you can do some auto reply, but it's meaningless. Because a lot of people will stop halfway, and you're gonna kind of like lose a lot of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna generate leads. That's what we really want. But of course, if you go for advanced setup, then you can actually connect to your own chatbot and whatnot. But I would say at the moment, in fact, Facebook is doing such a great job in terms of doing all these auto reply. You don't really need a chatbot, as in not really. But then again, if you're actually using the Messenger to handle your customer service problems and all that, then maybe yes. But then again, let's do the lead gen. So you're going to click create, select lead gen, generate leads, and click create. So then we will go into the conversation creation. Okay, now let's walk through this thing. So first thing first, the content side. So we're going to start with the welcome. You can edit anything. You can just even do this personalization and say that, hey, Jason, answer a few questions so that we know each other. You can edit. And of course, you can customize your questions. So want to get started? In fact, this is really something just to get them to say okay or not. This is for privacy issue. And then of course we'll come in and go for the township. Now, if you don't want township, you can drop this. And then we can ask different question. So first, always ask for phone number right away. You see, some people will think that, oh, I want to go through the normal lead gen, right? I will come in and say, oh, do you want to do this or whatnot? You know, give me your name and all that. Only phone number. No, immediately phone number first. Remember, this is the second tier. This is a retargeting advertisement. In fact, if you don't like this, you can even drop this. Want to get started? I don't care. Bloody give me your phone number right away. So when you do something like this, the phone number will become the answer. It's like becoming a button at the bottom. So the moment they click on this, you get the phone number. They don't need to key in the phone number. So you can ask more questions, like for example, your email address and whatnot. In fact, up to now, I would say seriously, get straight to the point. You don't even need to beat around the bush anymore. Yeah, so this is how you go. Get a phone number, get an email if you need to. If not, phone number is good enough. Okay, so the beauty of this thing is this. Okay, you have a completion message that you can send. Okay, like for example, you can say that, oh, thank you for answering, we will contact you. And you can actually send them to a button. You can actually send them to view website and whatnot. That's how you can do that. And of course, you need to put in your privacy policy link as usual. So that's how we do. Actually, very simple, right? But it's very powerful. You see, the completion rate is actually can go up to 80%. So you just imagine, it's as good as 100 people open your lead form, 80 of them give them your phone number. Wow. So this would definitely give your audience another option. So you have to play around with this thing. So once it's done, you can actually use this to preview in your own messenger, which they will send it over to you so that you can experience. So once it's all done, you can click save and finish. But of course, we want to go into the advanced. So you can name this. So this is what? TWFA messages. Okay, 02112021. So yeah, just gonna like pause. Now you have this thing, you can actually have confirmation to pause. If somebody pause, they would actually, you can even send this. But if they actually don't complete, they started here and they don't complete with this thing, or they don't go to the end, or even they, give you phone number, they didn't complete this thing. The beauty of it is they will send an automation, as an automated message to remind them that, hey, you didn't complete this. Do you want to come back and do this? How powerful is that? You get what I mean? How powerful is this thing? That's why you want to actually take advantage of this one. So this is how you set up an automated chat. This block send API, meaning that your automated questions are in progress. So if you have API, meaning that you're actually integrated with your chatbot and whatnot. So when this is being triggered, your chatbot will not trigger. So that's how it works. So basically, well, this is how it works. So once it's done, you just click save and finish, and everything will go out. So that's how you build a two-step funnel using a cross-objective framework, which is the tier 1 is going for lead gen, which is using the lead gen objective, and the tier 2 is going to use the messages objective. Now, this is just an example that I'm giving you. If you really use this, you can do so many other things. Like, for example, you want to do cross, like, oh, maybe another, tier 2, you want to use, website visits instead, or you want to go for a website with a sign-up form, which you want to give them a little bit more information, or you want to use website first, lead gen second. It's entirely up to you. Remember, lead generation on Facebook is not just about using the lead gen form. There are so many other ways. You can even use the website as tier 1, or even lead gen as tier 1, and tier 2, you use traffic to drive people to your WhatsApp link, the conversation. So many things you can do. The purpose of this part of the, the module is to really open up your possibilities, open up your mind, to let you see, the possibilities behind using multiple objectives coming together. So I hope this is good. Remember, go back to put whatever you have learned to practice, and practice makes perfect. That's the only way to master the two-step funnel framework. Okay, so that's all for us for this portion. I'll see you in the next one.